Hey everyone, hope you're well. Today I want to have a little rant about snacking. In my last video I talked about dinners, right? Or your main meal, portion control, the balance of the plate, protein, fats, carbs and all the rest of it. And thank you so much for the feedback on it, on the teams I'm in. It created some great discussions and people really thinking about some of the mistakes they're making or just things they hadn't considered, which is actually going to make a really big difference to them because, the old saying is breakfast like a king and dine like a pauper, which basically means if you're going to have your calories, have them earlier in the day when you can burn them off rather than later in the day when they're just body's got no choice but to store them. So thank you for your feedback on the dinner video. And then along the same theme, I want to talk about the next big thing, which I would say that, again, the huge majority of people coming to Herbalife, they misunderstand or don't understand the importance of, and that's snacking. It's the fat loss plan in Herbalife is very, very simple. Shake for breakfast, mid-morning snack, shake for lunch, mid-afternoon snack, and then the colourful, balanced evening meal that we talked about. Chuck in some steps and 3 litres of water and you're there, right? So with snacks making up like 40% of your nutrition intake of the day, it's important you understand why they're important, the good, the bad and the ugly of how to get them right, and maybe to get rid of some of the misconceptions around snacking as well, okay? Because one of the realizations that you should come to fairly early on in your Herbalife journey is that you're going to eat more than you've ever eaten before in your life and still lose fat. Right. Well, one of the things that people get really wrong when it comes to losing weight, and it's why this is not a diet and diets don't work, because diets are about restriction. Like, people often think the less they eat, okay, then the more weight they're going to lose, or the better their diet's going to be. And you know what? They're right. In the short term, if you just massively restrict your calorie intake, yeah, you're going to lose a load of weight, but it's going to come back on. It's going to come back on with extras as well. You probably experienced it before. It's called yo-yo dieting. What you want to do is you want to be feeding the body, right, with great balanced nutrition consistently over time. You want to be eating every 2 to 3 hours, right? If you go more than 3 hours during the day, if you're going more than 3 hours without consuming some fuel, right, then your chances of failing go up significantly. Right? 90% of diets fail because people feel hungry. They feel hungry because they're not giving the body the nutrition they need. And so it's why often when people start a weight loss plan, the first thing they do is they drop breakfast. Oh, I don't need breakfast. I don't even feel hungry in the morning, so I'll drop that. And they think that's going to work. And long term, it actually goes against what you need to be doing to lose weight, right? So let's talk about snacking, why it's important, what you should be looking for in a snack, and the difference that it will make, right? So like I said, it's going to make up 40% of your nutrition intake. So it's important that it's right, okay? The snack itself, right, that you're going to have mid-morning and mid-afternoon, a balanced snack, or if you're looking at just breaking it down to its very basics, right, your snack should be 200 calories or less. Right, obviously the less calories the better, but you can go up to 200 calories. If it's slightly more than 200 calories, so be it, but it better be nutritionally worth it. So 200 calories as a benchmark for a snack is enough because you want that fuel going in, right? But what that fuel is made up of is important, right? The snack should contain at least 10 grams of protein. Okay, really, they're the two things. When I'm working with people and we're trying to keep it really simple, the snack should be 200 calories or less and at least 10 grams of protein. Now, when you set those two guidelines on a snack, it immediately starts ruling stuff out. Because lots of stuff that would be considered just general snacks, right, crisps and biscuits and this and that and all the rest of it, they can be under 200 calories, but they won't have enough protein in. So, and the reason protein's important is because like almost everything in your body is made up of protein. Protein has this fantastic way of keeping hunger at bay, right? It also allows you to maintain muscle mass. Your muscle mass is what burns calories, right? The more muscle you have, the more effective you are at burning calories, the harder it is to put on fat, right? So you want to maintain your muscle mass. You don't want to be hungry. Protein is great for all of these things. So every snack should be protein based, right? The next kind of guideline around snacks is that the amount of carbs, right, in the snack shouldn't be particularly higher than the 10 grams of protein that's in there. Right, snacks are small things. They should be calorie controlled and protein dense, right? So there's lots, I mean, these days, because the food industry has caught on to people understand this now, then you get your protein bagels and your protein yogurts and your protein bloody Mars bars and your protein everything, right? More foods are talking about protein these days than anything else. So make sure that both your snacks are 200 calories, at least 10 grams of protein, and the carbs should fall in line or be a little bit lower than the protein amount too, right? It's why, by the way, the Herbalife snacks are so convenient, because the protein bars, they're about 200 calories, they're about 10 grams of protein, right? The protein chips, they're actually 136, 140 calories and 12 grams of protein. Protein chips are amazing as a snack. Eggs are great, right? And I'm not going to go into loads of things, because now you know the guidelines, right? Then you can go and work it out for yourself. You know that saying, give a man a fish, he'll eat for a day, teach a man to fish, he'll feed himself for a lifetime, right? Yeah, we can give you a snack list, right? But you look at the snack list, you get bored of the things on that snack list, you don't like the things on that snack list, and all of a sudden you're not snacking, right? Whereas the guidelines are 200 calories, 10 grams of protein, and no more carbs than protein. Now the world is your oyster. You can go and find whatever snacks you want. You can put things together. People put cottage cheese and apples together, and peanut butter and this together, and eggs and this together, and you work out for yourself what you need. And my advice would be, right, go outside of the Herbalife snacks, right? Until you work this out, just use the Herbalife snacks. It's much easier. Go and find yourself outside of Herbalife snacks 5 amazing snacks that sit in the guidelines that work for you, right? Things that you really enjoy but fit the guidelines. Because if you get this right, you should never, ever, ever be hungry on a Herbalife nutrition plan. If you're eating every 2 to 3 hours and every meal has got, you know, a good amount of protein in it and it's balanced and the calories are coming in, you're fueling yourself, you should never be hungry. Right? It's like your car, right? If you wait till it runs out of petrol to put fuel in it, right, it's not going to be a healthy journey for you or for it, right? What you do with your car, you see it's getting low, and then you put more fuel in. It's got to be the same with your snacks, right? If you get hungry at any point, it's already too late. Because as soon as hunger sets in, and you tell me if I'm wrong, as soon as a hunger sets in, you're making bad choices. Right? Have you ever walked around the supermarket hungry? You get home and you've spent twice as much as you plan to spend, and most of it is rubbish, right? And you're eating it in the car on the way home, opening stuff, right? So you should never be hungry, right? If you're and snacking shouldn't be about hunger, right? You should eat to a plan, and if you need to set an alarm on your phone to remind you to snack, right? And it goes off and you go, "Oh, I'm not hungry, I won't bother." Mistake. Big mistake, right? Because you need to eat before you get hungry. Otherwise, right, you think you're saving calories. What happens is, I'm not hungry, so I won't bother. I'll save the calories. So you don't have the 200 calories now. Then it comes to lunchtime and you're ravenous. I promise you, the extra calories you're taking there is more than the 200 calories that you would have eaten mid-morning if you just had your snack. Okay. The key is eat to a plan, don't eat to hunger, right? The other thing, by the way, is why you want to snack and you want to be eating every 2 to 3 hours, is your metabolism is this magical bodily function that is basically how your body burns calories, right? The higher your metabolism, okay, or the fact that it's just working effectively, the more calories you burn, the harder it is to store the calories that you're eating, right? So when you eat, your metabolism kicks in. It has to do things to turn that food into energy and then process the food through your body so you can get rid of it, right? Every time you eat, okay, your metabolism kicks in. It keeps your metabolism in high gear. So for that reason only, if you want to keep your body in calorie burning mode, metabolism in high gear, you want to be eating every 2 to 3 hours, right? Snacking is so important. Don't ever be hungry. Don't ever deprive yourself. Know what the guidelines are and find snacks that you absolutely love, right? That's how you lose weight easier than you ever have done in your life. Never being hungry, having tons of energy and wondering why you ever struggled on a diet ever before. Good luck.